Harry there. Well, let's head to Rio now, Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, because the two-day summit of the BRICS grouping of emerging economies which is taking place despite the absence of the leaders of China and Russia. Trade is top of the agenda as the BRICS countries struggle to find a coordinated response to President Trump's tariffs. In the meantime, Donald Trump has said that he'll impose an additional 10% tariff on any country that aligns itself with what he called the anti-American policies of the BRICS group. Well, let's talk to Professor Partha Chatterjee, who's emerging markets economist at Shiv Nadar University. Good to have you on the programme. So is Narendra Modi among those attending?
That's right. Narendra Modi is there not only participating in the BRICS conference, but it's also a state visit for him.
The American trade relationship, as far as he's concerned, is extremely important. For India, it's so important. What do you think about this note that's just come through from President Trump on Truth Social, where he says an extra 10% tariff will be on countries that align themselves with BRICS groups?
Yeah, I think BRICS, if you look at the composition of the countries, there's a little bit of disparity in how they want BRICS to be seen, right? So there is one view where BRICS is seen as quite anti-American and a counterweight to US, whereas India would rather want it as a group where it kind of can hedge against the global uncertainty and the US unpredictability. Yet it does not want to be seen, this group, as completely an anti-American thing, right? So I think there's a balancing act even in terms of what the resolutions are. It's not overtly criticizing US. Of course, it has mentioned the tariffs, which is affecting each of the member countries, and there is no escaping from that. On the other hand, they really don't want this group to be completely an anti-American group as such.
OK, but you get the impression from President Trump that he perceives the group as anti-American. He described it as that, actually. Without President Xi there and President Putin there, how much weight does this gathering have?
Yeah, I think, of course, President Putin not being there is partly because of the war and the ICC cases and so on. What's, of course, taken everyone by a little bit of a surprise is the Chinese premier not being there, right? Xi Jinping is not there, and he's been present in all the previous meetings of BRICS. So there's been a question as to why. I don't think China is downgrading BRICS as such. There are reports that China is dealing with internal economic situations. The tariffs have impacted the Chinese economy. Tariffs at some point peaked at 143%. And then with some deals, it has come down to 50% for China, which is still very high. And Chinese economy has not really moved away from the dependence on exports. So I think that's one of the reasons. And in fact,
sorry, Professor Chatterjee, we have to draw this to a close. There is always so much to discuss. Thank you so much for talking to us on BBC News.